Have you ever had that uncomfortable feeling when, in the middle of a conversation, you can't find anything to say? And you just stand there, in silence. It happens at school, at work, even at parties. Well, in this video, you'll find out how to avoid those awkward pauses, how to make your conversations more natural and fun, and 3 simple tricks that great conversationalists use. And the best part, no extraordinary skills are needed. For starters, forget the usual advice you hear everywhere. For an introvert, they are a bit like trying to skydive without a parachute. I was always that person in silence, unable to know what to say. I was introverted at the highest level. After a long time, I realized that not knowing what to say stemmed from 3 main things: insecurity, fear of judgment, or lack of ideas, or that you don't care about the conversation.
Don't give a f.
But that's a different topic. What we often don't realize is that behind the insecurity and fear of judgment is a mental filter we apply to what we think we can say. When we are in a conversation, we tend to hold back words because we are constantly evaluating them, wondering if they are smart enough or if they will make us look like idiots. This habit leads us to get stuck in silence because what we might say does not pass the perfect. Removing this filter allows you to say what you think. Maybe just don't say everything. The best way to never run out of ideas is to always have 2 or 3 favorite topics ready for every conversation. And keep a few questions in reserve. Yes, I know, it sounds a bit nerdy, but think about how a superhero always has a plan B, except Deadpool. In short, you could prepare a number of interesting topics. When you see the conversation slowing down, pull out one of these topics and try to build a conversation based on them. In a conversation, there will always be pauses. Don't feel obligated to fill every silence. Sometimes a short pause can give you both time to reflect and find a new topic. To make a conversation truly natural, the first step is to get rid of the pressure to look perfect. In fact, there is nothing more powerful than the pratfall effect. When we show ourselves imperfect, we automatically become more sympathetic to others. Think of how many times you have felt comfortable with someone who admitted a small gaffe without shame, simply having a laugh. Acknowledging one's imperfections allows others to feel free to be themselves. But be careful, it's not about telling all your vulnerabilities at the first meeting or in any context, but choose moments when you are among safe people. During dialogue, you don't need long monologues or to be a genius. But anyway, if you want to become one, you can find the video on this channel. Often it is enough to really listen, ask sincere questions, and show interest in what the other person is saying. Thus, gradually, the dialogue is enriched, because when you show attention, you are already building a connection. Consider this statement and imagine it is said by 2 different people. The first has just finished a long weekend of partying with friends. The second has finally found an internship after months of searching. Same words, but with different feelings behind them. It is crucial to pay attention to the underlying emotions of what people are saying. This can provide you with guidance on how to respond in the most appropriate way. For the first person, you might say, "I guess going back to work is going to be a little tough, huh?" For the second person, you might say, "It must be great to start this new chapter, right?" In both cases, we are developing empathic statements that address their emotions about the work. This is a great way to quickly build rapport with anyone. Introversion is influenced by various factors. Society actually seems to benefit those with an outgoing nature, but these are only appearances. Some of the greatest faces in history were and are well-known introverts. People like Einstein and Gandhi changed the world. And guess what? They certainly weren't extroverts. So your introversion is not a barrier, but it can be an asset. Great conversationalists know simple but powerful tricks for keeping chats natural and engaging. And once you know them, you can't help but use them. The first trick: ask open-ended questions. It's not just about asking, "How are you doing?" but enticing the other person to tell. These kinds of questions open wide doors to personal worlds and, as if by magic, stimulate spontaneous conversations. The second trick is to share personal experiences. When someone tells you about a difficult experience, revealing an anecdote of your own, maybe something similar, shows that we understand what the other person is going through. It's like saying, "Hey, we're in the same boat." The third trick is the last 3 words technique. It is simple but powerful. If a friend says, "I went to a new coffee shop yesterday," respond with a simple "new coffee shop?" Not like a parrot, but with genuine curiosity. Maybe add a small smile. Not too much or you'll look like a crazy psychopath. You will be amazed to see how this technique invites the other person to go on and tell even more. With these 3 tricks, you will find that conversations never end. They only get richer.